Bill Clinton was known as a young and ambitious man who became the governor of Arkansas in 1978, the youngest governor in 4 decades. While he was governor, he fought for education system reform, lower utility costs, and promoted healthcare reform. Clinton was known for having vague views. He helped form the Democratic Leader Council, which attempted to create a political platform between liberals and conservatives, maintaining uncertain views and attempting to side with liberals and conservatives won him the support of the Democratic Party. During the campaign of 1992, Clinton advocated for education, job training, a national healthcare system, rights for gay and lesbian people to join the military, raising taxes on wealthy Americans, and stimulus spending to attempt to boost the stationary economy. One of his opponents, Perot, largely focused his campaign on ending the budget deficit. This led Clinton to promise he would cut the national deficit in half in his first term. Clinton won the popular vote with 43%, followed by George H.W. Bush at 39% and Perot with 19%. Bill Clinton's main priority during his presidency was healthcare reform. He assigned Hillary Clinton and Ira Magaziner to create a healthcare plan. Clinton eventually decided to campaign a market-run system so that the government would only have to cover people who aren't insured by their employer. However, the final healthcare plan released by the Clinton administration was not well understood. Their healthcare plan didn't pass through Congress, which made Clinton look like an ineffective president. In the 1996 election year, Republicans gained the majority status in both houses of Congress and became the Southern Majority Party. The Republican candidates promoted the Contract with America, which promised things such as economic opportunity, limited government, and security at home and abroad. They led their campaigns with the promise that they would achieve 10 of the provisions in the contract in 100 days, which they almost nearly completed. Women's rights at this time were under attack as conservative politicians lobbied to criminalize abortions unless the pregnancy was the result of rape, incest, or threatened the life of the mother. Affirmative action was fought against by Republican and conservative politicians, which negatively affected people of color who were trying to receive more education and aid. Pieces of legislation such as Proposition 187 and Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Act of 1996 fought to make undocumented immigrants ineligible for medical, social, and educational services, or worked to terminate legal immigrants' ability to receive things like Medicaid and food stamps. Clinton also accepted the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy enacted by Senator Sam Nunn in regard to military homosexual regulations. Clinton won the 1996 election by a considerable number of votes. The government at the time was extremely divided between parties, which prevented a lot of policy reform and legislation from being passed. While he was in office, Clinton prevented federal legislation from ending affirmative action and fought to make sure pregnant women were given the choice to have an abortion if they chose to do so. He also increased the minimum wage, secured small child care, and reduced the disproportionate tax cuts being given to wealthy Americans. The lack of resources for discretionary spending was a big issue in the 1990s. Clinton's administration worked to cut the nation's budget deficit while simultaneously working to prevent large tax cuts proposed by the Republican Party. After analyzing the Clinton administration and comparing it to contemporary society, it's likely the U.S. will face a lot of budget difficulties in the future due to the imbalance of revenue and spending with increased tax cuts in recent years. Politicians today will continue to face similar issues that Clinton dealt with from the 1990s through today.